Richard Clark and Boomer O'Neill. Arsenal won a bruising, breathless and ultimately brilliant North London derby at Emirates Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The winner arrived 15 minutes from time when Nicolas Bentner came off the bench to power home a close-range header with his first touch. However, that comes shortly after Manuel Amelia had prevented Tottenham scum taking a surprise lead by turning aside Robbie Keane's penalty. And that only happened after Dimitar Berbatov had expertly equalized Emmanuel Adebayyor's strike 3 minutes into the second half. All the action came after the break. The first period had been poor. Arsenal were not fluent and Tottenham scum were defending deeply. But the second half was your typical roller coaster ride, fast, jangling, occasionally inducing a little queasiness yet wonderfully satisfying. At the final whistle, the Arsenal players ran to Arsenal goalkeeper Amelia. Perhaps that is the best indication of the turning point today. Make no mistake, the home side were teetering for a time. Still, Warriors men keep on finding a way to win, and this afternoon they gave their supporters a wonderful Christmas present, beating Tottenham scum to stay top of the Premier League. It really does not get much better than this. Arsenal retained the side that had beaten Sheffield on Sunday. However, Robin van Persie, a substitute against Avram Grant's side, was left out of the squad after picking up a knock. Emmanuel Adebayor started despite being stretchered off last weekend. Cesc Fabregas, Matthew Flamini and Alex Leite had all been out for that fixture. They kept their places for the derby. In fact, it was Tottenham scum who had the injury worries, particularly in defense. 3 of their back four were playing out of position. Arsenal tried to exploit the weakness in the opening minutes. Arsenal tore forward from the first whistle. Flamini hooked an early effort into the side netting, then, in the 4th minute, Kolotour stabbed a low shot at Paul Robinson from a Fabregas free kick. However, there are signs that Londe Ramos is starting to exert a positive influence at White Hart Lane. They withstood the home pressure and, in the 9th minute, they worked a good position on the right. Only Bakary Sagna's flick header prevented Aaron Lennon's whipped and cross-reaching Robbie Keane. If Tottenham scum's aim was to keep Arsenal at bay and quieten the crowd, then they succeeded in the 15 minutes that followed. Rick probed well, Flamini ran intelligently, and Adebayyor's movement caused constant headaches for the visitors, but Robinson was untroubled. However, at the same time, Arsenal were forcing Tottenham scum to play it on the back foot, and therefore they created virtually nothing themselves. In the 34th minute, Arsenal's Adebayor held the ball up for Adu to slide a fierce shot goalwards. Scum goalkeeper Robinson threw himself to his left to save. It was the best chance of the half so far. Before the whistle blew, Spurs scum threatened a little. Scum's Berbatov floated a free kick into the arms of Arsenal's goalkeeper, Amelia. Then scum's Kevin Prince Boateng tacked an effort over the bar. Following good work from scum's Robbie Keane and Lennon on the right. But 3 minutes from time, Arsenal conjured up an altogether better chance. Arsenal's Toure met a Fabregas corner with his head, and scum goalkeeper Robinson gymnastically palmed the ball aside once again. It was a lively end to an otherwise sterile first half. Arsenal need a spark. Their passing and invention had been strangely lacking. That, combined with Tottenham scum's desire to get 10 men behind the ball, was strangling the life out of this derby. However, the game changed within precisely 2 minutes 19 seconds of the restart. That was when Arsenal's Rosicky collected the ball in midfield and sent a reverse pass to Fabregas, who was scampering into the area. The Spaniard had spotted Adebayor ghosting in behind. He held off his marker and backheeled the ball into the path of the Togo-Aussie striker, who slid home his 10th Premier League goal of the season. As against Shafsky last week, Arsenal had broken the deadlock at a crucial time. In fact, the home side nearly got a double whammy. They won possession from the kickoff and Fabregas fired over the bar. A confident Arsenal held Tottenham scum captive in their own half for the 5 minutes which followed the goal. This would be the biggest test of the visitors' newfound confidence. Just past the hour, Arsenal's Edu fired in a low cross from the right and Arsenal had a claim for a penalty when Scum's Guns Cable appeared to clip Arsenal's midfielder Rosicky. However, Tottenham scum were starting to stir up. Scums let him tease Arsenal's cliché and floated a hanging cross to the far post where Scum's Robbie Keane hammered a shot against the bar. Claw. Then, in the 66th minute, the Scums Paddy collected Scum's pass couching down his long ball forward, reached the byline and backheeled the ball for Scum's Berbatov to punt his effort high into the net at the near post. Ooh, this. Now, Tottenham scum had the initiative. They pressed forward and troubled Arsenal into conceding a penalty 18 minutes from time, when Arsenal's Kolotour clipped Scum's Berbatov. Scum's Robbie Keane stepped up to take the spot kick, but this time it was Arsenal goalkeeper Amelia who pulled off a low save to his right. Claw. It was now an end-to-end game. The midfield was just a mirage and both sides were attacking at will. With 15 minutes left, both teams decided to make attacking substitutions. Arsenal's Nicolas Bentner came off for Edu and Scum's Jermaine Debites before for Scum's Keane. Tottenham scum had not seen the big game before, so perhaps that was the reason they left him completely unmarked from a Fabregas corner, and, with his first touch, Nicolas Bentner powered home a header from close range. Claw. Good old Arsenal. What a way to introduce yourself to an North London derby. Hardy har. Good old Arsenal's Bentner nearly set up an annual end in the year for the third, but the Arsenal striker was muscled out as he raced through the middle. Tottenham scum's main threat in the final stages was substitute Aguilera, but his trickery had no end product. Good old Arsenal deservedly held on to their victory and their lead in the Premier League at the top of the table.